make you so special? Why did he bless you? Think about it. I woke up this morning. Got a smile when I say that shit. I woke up this morning. Go.
So we're live. We're live with Debo.
Hello.
I can say your full name? Do you care if I say it?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay. Tell me if I'm butchering it. I think I know how to say it.
All right, let's go.
Debo Wale Adesei Adegunle.
Yeah, that's it right there.
There we go. Cool.
First time on the pod. That's everyone said.
True. Well, I'm excited to have you on. I would say you're one of the wittiest people I know, and you've always supported me with all this, like YouTube stuff and all that. So I appreciate that as well.
Hey, no problem. Thank you for the help.
You're also one of the most gregarious, just personable people I know. Like you're extremely good at like influencing people. Possibly the best person I know at it too.
Thank you. It's high praise, actually.
Hey, you gotta give with people, so gotta send some love your way. Butter you up.
Thank you. But yeah, shout out to people. People are tight.
People are tight. So here, let's just get into it, man. I got a question for you. What technological breakthrough do you think has had the greatest impact on humanity?
It'd be easy to say the internet because
I feel that's a quick answer because that's recently.
It's recent and it's free and it's available to everybody, damn near anywhere.
True.
And it's ubiquitous. Like a billion people have Facebook. That's like a seventh of the world.
That's crazy.
I'd say in America, I've only been in America, never been to another country. Every American has the opportunity to get on the internet. Like you can go to the library and get on the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even the incredibly impoverished have it's available to them. It doesn't discriminate. So I'd go with the internet. It's wild and it's information and it's there.
And we also don't know the effects of what it's had yet, where it's going to take us.
Oh yeah, but it's taken me personally very far. Just learning things on the fly. I can find out anything. There's no need to argue with people because we can just Google whether or not it's
exactly.
True. Yeah.
That's why I like keeping this right here, like keeping the laptop right here. So like any bullshit that could possibly come out of my mouth right now, it's like I'm not sure if I'm right about this. Let's look it up.
Fact checked.
Yeah, exactly.
A quick fact check doesn't kill anybody.
And also it kind of adds some humility. Like I might be wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm probably wrong right now. Let's just check. Instead of like if we never had the internet, I might be like, yeah, no, like you double down on how like you're wrong. Like no man, I'm definitely right now.
Granted, people on the internet still double down while facing the fact that they are wrong. They'll just brave the storm. I respect that.
I'm pretty sure that's the what's that website? The definitions website. It's like the
Urban Dictionary.
Urban Dictionary. I'm pretty sure that's the Urban Dictionary definition of a troll.
Yeah.
Probably. Well, that was total bullshit right there. Actually.
Oh,
I made that up on the spot.
We can Urban Dictionary that right now.
Let's do it. Usually I have like a TV set up, hooked up to this, and then you can kind of see it on the camera.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we're on the studio here.
All right. Well, maybe when I come in Springfield, we can figure that out.
Hey, come through. Oh, this is the featured word of the day. Phased. When you're drunk or high.
Mediocre word.
We got so phased last night. I've never heard that in my life.
That's awful.
What was the word again? Troll. I used to spend a fair amount of time on this website when I was growing up.
I actually made a definition on Urban Dictionary the summer that I moved to Missouri, so I didn't have anything to do. It was catch flights, and every
Wait, what did you say? Sorry, I was reading the definition.
I made a definition. It was catch flights, and it was like to get high. And my example was Jeremy. Someone asked, "Where's Jeremy?" I said, "Jeremy went to catch flights." And every single day for the summer, I would upvote it myself from just like my laptop. So it got like 90 upvotes, no upvotes, and then Urban Dictionary just deleted it.
Oh, really?
They're like, fuck this guy. He's absolutely upvoting his own stupid ass definition.
And then liking it himself.
Yeah, so I can respect it. Whatever.
So were you thinking about like dropping out once you got 90 likes?
I was like, man, I could really do this Urban Dictionary thing.
You could.
I mean,
start monetizing this.
Absolutely. We got to make money off it somehow. There's a check in there. I know it there is. There has to be a check in Urban Dictionary definitions.
Oh, yeah. A fat check, too.
Mm-hmm. And I'll find it one day.
Just gotta start digging, man.
I'm digging right now.
Dig deep.
Got my shovel on me.
Oh, came prepared.
Absolutely.
So a troll, and I think this is actually a pretty good summary of what a troll is. I'm gonna put this mic closer to you.
Okay.
It's super close to me. A troll, one who posts a deliberately provocative message to a news group or message board with the intention of causing maximum disruption and argumentation.
That's fair. Just cause havoc.
Shit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, not someone you want to be around.
No.
A troll, no. Keep him away from me.
Keep that negativity away.
Absolutely. Positive vibes.
So I didn't write this down, but it just came to mind now. What was your what did you learn about yourself, like moving from Georgia to Missouri? Like, did you obviously you have to adapt, you have to be kind of malleable in that situation to where like all this new environment. Did you kind of redefine who you were? Like, have to?
Well, initially I wasn't malleable at all. I was very firm. I was like, you know what, fuck or screw this.
Like set in stone.
I was like, prior to my mom told me in the middle of my 8th grade year, hey, we're gonna move up to Missouri. I said, no, we're not. She's like, okay. And then we did move to Missouri, obviously. And while I was here, I didn't do it. I came at the beginning of the summer, and that whole summer I didn't do anything. I just stayed inside and I probably watched over 100 movies, and I probably finished like 3 series. I read like 2 books, like nonfiction, like young adult, or fiction, like young adult books. But
what was that time of your life like? Was that kind of boring, or?
No, I liked it. I mean, that's something I do now. I do still watch a lot of television and movies, and I don't read as many books, but I do read a lot of articles just on things. So, I mean, it was weird because I didn't have any friends. I went outside like 10 times that summer.
Yeah.
I had no school, and the only thing I would do, I would go back to Georgia.
No opportunity to meet anybody.
Exactly. I would go back to Georgia. I went back to Georgia like 3 times that summer just to kick it with some people, and then I would just come back and be bored again. But it was okay. I spent a lot of time alone.
Probably a lot of like introspection,
I wasn't very introspective back then. I had nothing to think about. I was like 13.
Okay. Yeah, you aren't really deep then.
Yeah, no. I mean, I didn't really have any like profound thoughts. I still don't really think that deeply. I
feel like you do. I think you're kind of marginalizing yourself a little bit there.
Not introspective though. Not about myself. Like
just more about the like external world kind of deal. Okay.
Absolutely. But no, I mean, when I did get into school, I did learn that. I mean, I am, like you said, gregarious. Like I can make friends easily, and I just met a lot of people who I liked at school and outside of school and sports and whatnot. And now, like in college, just like meet people and you gotta be nice. Like I had to relearn how to meet and make friends. So.
Right. Yeah, you get so like comfortable with like who you're with and all that. Mm-hmm. It's like Nikki Schuler. She grew up and she had to switch schools all the time, and like I always respected that. And just anybody who's able to go to a new environment and like really just settle down, and I don't know, I appreciate that.
She'll thrive anywhere she goes. You can put her on the North Pole and she'll make friends.
True.
Absolutely. Shout out to Nikki.
Shout out. So here's another question for you: Is intelligence or wisdom more important?
I don't know. Intelligence is cool. Because, I mean, with intelligence you can innovate and you can like really change and create, but if you're doing all that, you're going to be more prone to make mistakes, right? And that's where you gain wisdom. In retrospection, you're looking back and then you gain wisdom. What's more important? Probably wisdom, because you can make the same mistake 6 times and be the smartest guy in the world. But if you're wise, I mean, maybe you only make it once.
You'll learn from it more.
Absolutely.
Yeah, wisdom's kind of like an eternal truth that you can base off of. It's almost like integrity with your truth. Yeah. I
mean, they're both important. Why not both? You know.
True. Do you see yourself as more intelligent or more wise at this age, at this point in time?
Probably more intelligent. I feel like I do a lot of things I could probably avoid with just like a dose of wisdom, like just a little sage wisdom, just sprinkle it on me, maybe I wouldn't have made this mistake or that mistake.
Right.
But I don't know.
Have you ever heard that quote? It's like something along the lines like you have to be dumb and stupid to be old and wise, or something like that.
I've probably heard something to that effect. I mean, that does make sense though.
I think it's kind of like the premise of that is that you kind of have to fuck up. You kind of have to make mistakes in life to learn and grow.
Yeah, wisdom is gained by experiences or something along the lines of that. Which is, I think is true. So,
but I don't think there's any. People like to associate wisdom with like age, but I don't think that's necessarily true.
Sure, I mean you could have a chock full of experiences by 18 and just be extremely wise. There are probably people who are 13 who are more wise than I am.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a case by case kind of thing.
Like maybe Lil Pump. He's probably a lot more wise than anybody.
Granted, Lil Pump is a Harvard graduate. People forget this. Yeah.
People like to judge from the external. Like,
yeah.
He has these colorful hair, but he went to Harvard, man.
He went to Harvard grad.
At 17.
At 17.
That's impressive.
Big Lil Pump guy. Big proponent of Lil Pump.
You a fan?
I mean, I don't particularly like his music, or I dislike his music. I think Gucci Gang is a banger. I just like that he's young and like doing well.
Yeah, you gotta respect it. You gotta respect it.
I'm really just a fan of anyone who's young and doing well for themselves, or anyone who's old and doing well for themselves. Like I don't care.
True.
Just people who are doing well for themselves.
Who do you think some of the biggest influencers like? Or basically under 20 right now.
Well, Lil Pump has a #1 record, so him.
You'd have to be up there.
Under 20, man, gosh darn. Those freaking Stranger Things kids, I don't know if they're genuinely influencing people.
I'm not familiar with that. What's the idea of Stranger Things? I've heard of that so many times.
Well, it's a television series on Netflix that became a cultural phenomenon. Like, people are enthralled by Stranger Things. The first time it came out because it's set in the 80s.
Okay.
And people are drawn to nostalgia. Like, nostalgia will eat people alive. There's a nostalgia monster and it eats everybody up.
People love to live in the past.
Absolutely.
For whatever reason.
Yeah, so that's a huge draw. It's like a horror type show. And it's really good. So you throw that all into a blender and you get a cultural phenomenon, I guess. And people are in love with it. And it features like 6 child actors, and they're all pretty good. And they're like 13 at the oldest, 16 I think is the oldest one. And they're all pretty influential. Millie Bobby Brown.
Wow, so these are like young kids with so much power,
potential.
so much of a...
Yeah, absolutely.
So much influence.
Absolutely.
Another big influence... Wait, what were you saying?
No, you can go ahead.
Another massive influencer who's just taking over YouTube right now. I mean, if you type in Jay right now, the first thing you're gonna get on YouTube is Jake Paul. Like that is taking those brothers, like the way they've collaborated. It's so impressive to me. And yeah, they are a little obnoxious and they get a lot of shit for it, but the way they've taken over the internet, it's so impressive.
Yeah, it is. It was by storm. I don't even find them particularly annoying or funny, but they're definitely, like you said, influential, and they're everywhere.
Undeniably so too.
It feels like they get mentioned. They get within the YouTube community. I think everyone who has a YouTube channel knows who Jake Paul is. That it's everyday, bro. Has like 100 million views or something.
That's crazy. It's not even a good song. It's just it's a little catchy.
Not particularly, but I think I don't even know if it's supposed to be funny. It's not funny, so I don't think it's supposed to be funny. It is what it is, and people watch it, and people hate it, but people still watch it.
That's all that matters.
People still comment.
That's all that matters.
Exactly.
The fact that it's gathering so much of an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's that Kanye line? It's in his most recent album. It's like, I'd be worried if they say, everybody can say something. I'd be worried if they say nothing.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of along the lines of, like, you kind of, like, any attention's good.
Yeah.
Like, but there's no such thing as bad press.
Yeah. And those guys have a lot of press. Just a lot. Totally. People are making like reaction videos and whatnot.
To their videos, which are going to give their videos more looks because they're going to want to go watch them.
That's just the funnel straight to Jake Paul's pockets. So
you're right. Like there are a lot of YouTubers that actually will base their
channel
Yeah, base their entire channel. They will spend time making fun of Jake Paul and Logan Paul, but in return, that's only helping them out, so they're probably thankful for that.
Exactly. Haters are their motivators. Wow, it makes you think. But yeah,
was that some Nicki Minaj right there? Little Nicki.
I think it's from a James Franco film. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know. I can't remember. Google.
Haters are my motivators.
Find the.
I just remember that Nicki song by 2 Chainz. Nicki, 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 put it in her kidney.
Man, that is graphic.
That is so graphic. Makes you think, and it makes you think visually.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what was the line again? Haters
are my motivators.
Well, I might have a new phone screensaver because of what you just said.
Huh? This is what I'm here to do, is inspire.
It doesn't say who it's by. It's probably one of those just cliche things.
Yeah.
Oh, Meek Mill has a song called "Hate Is My Motivator."
Free Meek Mill.
Yeah, what happened to him?
I'm not entirely sure, but he is in jail, I think, and hopefully he stops being in jail. That'd be ideal.
I like his music.
I'm a big fan.
Do you think the law should do you think there should be kind of we should almost look the other way as a culture if we value their music enough?
No.
I don't think so either.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But
because then you get famous and you can just do whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, which would be tight. If I was famous, I would definitely be for that.
Right.
But I'm not, so we'll wait till then. But I think that some celebrities do get actively plotted against because of their fame. So, I mean, I guess it works both ways.
Kind of become a target at that point.
But I'd say it's mostly the other way. I'd assume they get off for doing stuff more than they are targeted.
Totally.
Yeah.
And they can afford the best lawyers, so that's only going to work to their benefit as well. So.
Well, it's life.
Well, so I think every sport, I think it's kind of cool how every sport kind of has this notorious person that's considered the greatest of all time. For example, basketball is Michael Jordan, baseball has Babe Ruth, soccer is Pele. Just kind of the legends. Who would you say? Do you think some of these people are starting to get surpassed, or maybe they've been surpassed multiple times?
Well, I think the greatest basketball player is playing basketball right now. I think that's probably LeBron James, and I think the greatest soccer player is playing soccer right now, and I think that's Lionel Messi. And I think it's kind of polar opposites because people are willing to say that Messi is the greatest of all time within soccer pundit circles, those people. They'll entertain the idea at least. There's such a lore around Michael Jordan and what he is and what he became and what he is now. There's Teflon. Everything that you try to throw at him, it won't stick. If people entertain the idea of LeBron being the greatest of all time, it's a very polarizing thought. It's almost inflammatory. People will be genuinely upset. It's you can't even bring it up. If I say I think LeBron's the greatest of all time, people are, how would you say that about Michael Jordan? It's it has nothing to do with Michael Jordan.
Right.
I just think LeBron's the best player who's ever stepped on a basketball court. But people, I don't know. People just they can't let it go.
Totally. And you're right. That does bring up a huge debate.
Yeah.
I'd say that's the biggest one right now.
No,
LeBron and Jordan.
Yeah.
Is there any debate between Kobe and Jordan as well?
No.
None? People just pretty much mutually agreed that Jordan's better than Kobe ever was?
That is definitely the consensus.
Okay.
No question. I think people just like Kobe because he's from their childhood. If you were 13 when Kobe won his last championship, you'd still love Kobe, and that's what people are doing basically. Kobe was a great basketball player, and I'm all for people making fun of Kobe on the internet. I think it's funny. He was a great basketball player. He's just nowhere near Michael Jordan. Therefore, he's nowhere near LeBron James. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, LeBron's a tank, man.
He's incredible.
He's a tank.
Incredible at his craft.
I don't know much about him as a person compared to Kobe. In Michael Jordan, love those obsessive personalities that are just obsessed with success and like on that whole new level that's like almost unimaginable.
Yeah, see, both Kobe and Michael Jordan were just fueled by basketball, but they're also probably both sociopaths. LeBron James is probably a cool dude to be around. Like, I'd like to have LeBron as a friend.
Right. You're right. He does seem like more normal.
Yeah. And Kobe is just driven by basketball. Kobe once said that he doesn't need friends because he has like his family and he has basketball, which is fair. There's nothing wrong with that, and there's also nothing wrong with like having a drive that isn't obsessive because basketball isn't everything, and nothing is everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you can have multiple passions, and Kobe does have multiple passions, but there's one at the very, very forefront, and it got to the point where he couldn't even be like amiable with like people. Like,
do you think it was like he was too obsessed? Do you think there's even such thing as too obsessed with your craft?
I mean, sure, if you like alienate the people around you, unless you want to alienate the people around you, then you can do that.
If you see them as a distraction, I mean, it's totally plausible.
Yeah, I don't know. There probably is such a thing as too obsessed. I don't think it was Kobe though. I don't think that was him. But I don't know. I guess if you love something enough, you'll do whatever. Ooh, shit.
True. I don't. I bet all three of those guys would be somewhat amiable. Like between those, like I bet I'd get along with all three. But I totally agree with what you're saying. Like LeBron does seem like the most chill,
the most affable. Like he'd probably try to make you laugh.
Right.
I don't know if Kobe's really smart too, but I don't think he's trying to make you laugh.
Okay.
But
I'm curious where he'll go with his career now that he's been retired for a few years.
Well, I mean, he could
definitely start putting all that energy into like business or something.
He could do whatever. He's pretty wealthy through Nike and his basketball endeavors. So, I mean, he can do whatever, and he's still relatively young. Like the thing is, sports players retire like 30 years before regular people retire.
So true.
So they're young and they have a lot of time. Kobe obviously has a family. He has like 3 daughters. I think he's coaching one of his daughter's basketball teams.
No, good for him.
Yeah, so that's something that he's spending time on.
It's like they just suck. They're just like the worst team in the league.
They're just terrible, but he's having a great time doing it.
Yeah.
He's just smiling on the bench. So I don't know. I don't even remember what the question was, but it was like greatest. But yeah. That little tangent right there.
Do you think somebody who retires like that, who's just been obsessed with their craft, just going hard, all their focus, all their time, all their energies going into this, do you think like I think a lot of people, they think like, I want to get rich, then I want to chill. You know what I mean? Like I don't think somebody who's that obsessed could just be complacent with life after that.
Fair. I mean, I think that makes sense. The only counter to that is Kobe's 40 years old. I'd say he's been playing basketball for 38 of those years, since he was like 2 years old. His father played basketball in Italy. He comes over from Italy. He lives in Philadelphia. He plays basketball. Straight out of high school, he gets picked by the Charlotte Hornets, traded to the Lakers, plays basketball. Plays basketball every single day. Like, I don't know. You can be obsessed with something and still want to distance yourself from it, because you've been around it so long. I mean, that's the one constant in Kobe Bean Bryant's life is basketball is an orange ball inflated with air.
Totally. And I know me personally, like I was always so like indulged, so much of my time was indulged in soccer growing up from, I don't know, probably age, 5 to 18. And as soon as I, like while I was going through that, I'm like, I love this sport, I love it, I really do. But at the same time, like there's so much I want to try in life that like, soccer's kind of restricted me from doing.
Yeah.
And that was kind of irksome to me. And I could see that. I could see him like wanting to put his creative energy into something else instead of basketball. Like if you looked at it that way, I don't know if maybe he just was so obsessed he didn't think like, what if I was doing something else like I was personally? Maybe he was more committed than I was, but I could see that.
Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely parallels.
He'll probably try to profit in some way to like through basketball.
Maybe. I don't know if he's monetarily minded right now. He's pretty, not different, but like I don't think his goals are solely based in making money.
Right.
So maybe maybe he goes like a spiritual route. He wants to find a higher being, or maybe he goes into like a more introspective route. He wants to find himself, or maybe he just wants to spend more time with his family or his wife. Like him and his wife had turmoil a couple years ago, like in 2004, because in Colorado he had like a sexual assault charge, and they were going through it pretty bad. So maybe, I don't know, he has a lot of time, and whatever he does do, he'll give it like 175%.
Right.
So I don't know.
I couldn't agree with you more now that you put it in that. I think you had a more like empathetic thought process on that of like what he would be thinking at this point in time. Yeah, I think he's pretty complacent with money. Well, I'm not saying him specifically. I'm just saying anybody who's going to retire with a ton of money like that. Mm-hmm. I think you're right. I think most of the time they might be thinking about like, how can I expand this empire? How can I grow this into something greater? But you're probably right. Like I feel like I would be searching for another hobby, another passion, or the spiritual route, the introspective, or strengthening my relationships with other friends or family. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're totally right. I agree with that.
Yeah, shout out to Kobe Bryant.
Shout out to
basketball.
So who do you think the best baseball player of all time is?
Probably Barry Bonds. He was insane, incredible. He's got 7 MVPs. I've got a Barry Bonds jersey on the way.
No way.
Yeah, Barry Bonds Pirate jersey. But I don't know, he's just better than other people were, and that's a hot take. People don't like Barry Bonds obviously because of the steroid allegations. But
do you believe that actually happened?
They weren't proven. I don't know.
Right. I don't know much of the details between.
I mean, I don't know.
That as well.
I'd say 95% of people believe that it happened.
Wow.
Yeah, 95% of people who care and have read like the dockets and whatnot. That's something I was really interested in when I was like 12. Okay. Now, not so much. When I was 12 years old, I probably would have been like, Barry Bonds took steroids, like ban him from the sport. There's no need for that in the sport. Now, I'm a lot more relaxed on it. I don't want people to harm their bodies for it, but I mean, to each his own. They're all sovereign beings. They can do what they want. I'm a believer in autonomy. But yeah, I think Barry Bonds is definitely the best baseball player of all time. He's very good at every facet of the game. Like, I don't know.
That's fair. And regardless, like, whenever he was considered to take steroids, like, before that, he was still a great baseball player.
Yeah, he won 3 MVPs with the Pirates. I mean, he was just really good.
Right.
Actually, I don't know if he won 3 MVPs. So if he did, I'm a genius. But if he didn't, then my bad. I don't know if he won 3 MVPs with the Pirates. And I'm not even sure if he won 7 MVPs. Let's just put that on the record. Because people can just go back and be like, that guy's wrong. Sounds like an idiot. Whatever, though.
It's either you know everything or know nothing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, do you think this world would be a better place if everyone... A better or a worse place if everyone in the world looked the same? Like, speaking, not like you, like everybody looks like Debo. Okay. Like, same ethnicity.
Oh, no, it'd be a worse place. Diversity pushes America forward, and America is the country I live in, so I'm going to use that. But diversity pushes America forward. Without diversity, there wouldn't be innovation, because no one would have the need to change things.
But think about all the problems and conflict that diversity creates as well.
So we should just be an ethno-cleansing state. We just need to find that one race or ethnicity that we like, and then wipe out everyone. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it brings problems, but you'd have problems within. You have problems within the same ethnic group.
True.
Yeah, I mean.
And we actually discussed this question the other day on episode number 35. Shout out episode 35, promoting a little code promoting.
Just promoting, making money.
Undeniably, this world would be a lot less interesting.
Yeah.
Like, if everybody looked the same, it'd be a lot less interesting. But also, people, like you said, people would find problems. And if the problem isn't race necessarily, then it'd become religion. Like in Northern Ireland, everybody, like the Asian population is like the largest, and it's like I don't know, like 1% or something crazy small. Like it's literally just all white people, and their biggest problem over there is the Protestants versus Catholicism, and that's like that's the equivalent of here, like where racial relations aren't the greatest.
Yeah. I mean, people will find a reason to be mad at other people. That's how the world works. That's probably what's keeping the world spinning.
Yeah.
Hate motivates. We've spoken on it earlier. Hate motivates.
True.
So
it's kind of the same like principle as like benefiting. You can benefit from hate and you can benefit from pain as well. Like running away from pain towards something else. Like you can use that to grow. Same, I guess in the same way. It's not the healthiest, but you could use hate to like motivate you through like hard times. Like fuck those kids in high school. I'm gonna make it, man. I'm gonna make it at this rapping thing.
I'm sure it's driven a lot of people.
Totally. But for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah. But if you get there, you get there. I don't know. If you get to where you're wanting to go, and your gas tank was filled with hate as opposed to love, you still got there.
Right.
So.
But do you think the feeling on the other side is going to be equally as just
gratifying?
Yeah.
It's actually a good question. I don't know.
I'm not either. I think you would find out through the process that hate wasn't the answer, and I think it would inevitably lead to, maybe not inevitably, but it would lead to some truth that maybe you would do the parallel opposite and maybe just still more love in your life. I don't know.
Love's a need to love. It's probably not the hardest thing, or it's probably not the easiest thing to just find. Right? I mean, love begets love. You have to be around love to experience it, I feel like. And if you're just not in a place where it's happening, then fuck, you might be screwed.
Right.
So just give up. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
Or are these people actually getting motivated by hate, or are they getting motivated by the lack of love?
Probably hate. I feel like that's the stronger force.
Sure, that's gonna, a lot more energy is gonna drive from that.
Yeah, like hate is an active. Like, you have to actively hate somebody. Like, you can't feel indifferent about them. You have to hate them.
Right.
Just being completely devoid of love is just no energy used at all. No mind, like thought spent on it.
Yeah, it's probably gonna inspire more like inaction than anything. Yeah, that's true. And we've all been there. I mean, like hate. Well, I know I've been there as well. Like where hate's motivated me to do things, and then in result, it's made me realize that the only answer is love, and that you can't really be motivated by anything. But hate does. A lot of energy kind of stems from hate.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: what do you think the opposite of love is?
Oh yeah, love and hate are similar parallels. I mean, they're very, very similar. It's probably the same emotion, except I'd say hate is a little more passionate, but you can passionately love people. I like chill love people. It's like, yeah, I love you. It's not like I fucking love you, but I can be like, I fucking hate you, and not necessarily people, but like just sports or television shows. I feel that passionately. So I guess the opposite of love is probably like apathy, just not caring about something at all.
That's what I would agree with as well. Just the lack of caring about it at all. Yeah, no interest. Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Because I feel like that if you, but at the same time on the parallel, if you hate somebody and all you send them is hate, sometimes, I mean, girls kind of work like this. Like if you got to push them away, all you're doing is bring them right back. You know what I mean? Like the whole psychology.
Sure.
A little bit, yeah. I guess that could inspire. I don't know, but I would agree. I think apathy would be the same.
Yeah,
I think that'd be the opposite, the parallel.
Mm-hmm.
What activities in life make you feel the most alive?
The activities that I participate in the most, are like just me living vicariously through things. Like, I play video games. That's not actually me doing anything. I'm living vicariously through whichever character I'm using, and I watch television, I watch movies, and that's not me doing anything. I'm just spectating people living their fictional lives.
Do you like getting lost in a story like that?
Yeah, immersion is cool. Like, but I take myself.
What's the word for that? Immersion?
Yeah, like I'm
Getting immersed in somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay.
like into a story. I don't particularly do that. I take myself out of it a lot, like by just thinking, why would somebody do this, as opposed to like just going on the ride. Like I just think a lot about the stories and whatnot.
Do you like to like kind of psychoanalyze characters?
I don't try to do that as much because I'll just be very wrong. But yeah, I guess everyone does it. You just think, why would someone do that?
It's kind of the beauty of a fictional story, though. Like, kind of.
It's up for
Like, why is
interpretation.
this?
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. But activity that makes me feel most alive, I don't know, being alive probably.
There you go.
I have no clue. Gosh, I
Does
don't
that motivate you? Like is it like the gratitude for life itself and how like we're all here kind of by chance and we're all extremely grateful to be here.
Well,
We only get one life.
you do only have one life. I'd say I'm appreciative to be alive, to be in like born in the position I was born in, like just not impoverished. There are people who weren't born in America who are struggling. There are people who are born in America struggling.
True.
So yeah, I guess I'm appreciative to be alive, and that within itself is probably what makes me feel most alive, which is just a really cop-out answer, but whatever.
No, I think it's a good answer. I think it's a good answer. Well, would you say the paradox of death makes you like kind of like the inevitable destination of death? Like, does that motivate you to like? Does that inspire action at all within you?
It's the only guarantee of life. I think for a lot of people, death inspires the opposite. Since it is inevitable, there's nothing you can do to prevent it. It drives people to just not care about life or not take it as seriously.
Okay.
Or it inspires the opposite, to where it drives people to just take full advantage of life and really grab by the horns. I'd say I'm probably in the middle.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, life is cool. Death is going to happen.
I've never thought about it that way. Like it can actually inspire like inaction.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Do you think that's in response? So the two parallel opposites would be if you're accepting it, if you fully accept death, and that it is inevitable, it's going to happen to each and every one of us, then you're going to respond by taking action. And if you kind of resist it and almost become fearful of death and resist the nature of it, do you think that's going to inspire inaction?
No, I think the first one, I think you fully accept the fact that death is going to happen can inspire both. It can go either way.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think if you think death is definitely going to happen, you just aren't, like nihilism. That's like basically
What is it, nihilism?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, that's like nihilists. They realize that, not realize because it's not the absolute truth, but their truth is that what we do on Earth doesn't really matter. We're just going to die anyway. You can look it up.
So the idea of like purposelessness?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of counterintuitive, but...
Yeah, it is. But yeah, so they just don't think there's a purpose.
How do you spell it?
Nihilsm. Spell check.
N-I-H... Oh, I actually came up.
Yeah.
What is a nihilistic delusion?
I have no clue.
So what are your thoughts? Do you think life has a purpose? Are you more on the nihilist side?
See, I'm not a nihilist. I know that I'm not a nihilist because that would be so sad.
It would.
I'm not saying nihilists are sad. I'm just saying nihilism.
I bet they're pretty fucking pessimistic.
Yeah, nihilism.
Typically.
Nihilism as an idea is, like, to me, it just sounds pretty sad. But I'd say like I said earlier, I think I'm in the middle. Like I'm really not a nihilist, and I don't feel any purposelessness. But I'm not the most motivated person, despite the fact that I know that I'll eventually die. I could die tomorrow. Could have died yesterday. But that's not something that drives me. Like the inevitability of death isn't something that drives me.
Okay.
So
it's interesting. I know like people like Kanye, it drives him a lot, and a lot of other people. But That's interesting that, and I know personally it drives me as well. That's just interesting that it doesn't like inspire action, and maybe it's fear based within me. Like if I'm, because it's like I've kind of accepted that death is going to happen, and that I realize that time is the most valuable resource. It's the most, I mean, it's non-renewable resource.
It's finite.
Extremely finite, extremely, and that's maybe it's fear. I don't know. I don't think it's fear, but maybe that's what it is that's driving the action.
I mean, yeah. I don't know if it's... Fear's probably a word you could use for it. Fear's probably a word... I don't know if you... See, you're not afraid of death, though.
Yeah, I'm not.
You'd probably be more afraid of the fact that you haven't accomplished what you want to accomplish prior to dying. Or as much as you can accomplish.
That might be what it is.
Yeah, I mean... Because I wouldn't say I'm necessarily afraid of dying, but people are probably afraid of dying prior to figuring out what their purpose is or completing that purpose, which is fair.
Do you think the fear of death is irrational?
No, because it is a genuinely, or it can be like a genuinely scary thing.
Isn't like public speaking the number one fear, and then number two is death?
I didn't know people dislike. I mean, I assume public speaking was up there. I didn't know people liked it less than death. Man, public speaking get a bad rap out here. But, no, that would make sense. I don't think it's an irrational fear though. I think public speaking probably isn't an irrational fear either. Speaking in front of people can be hard.
Right.
And death is probably hard too.
I guess whenever it's the norm of the masses to fear death, because I would say the majority of people would fear death.
Yeah.
To some extent, some degree. I mean, probably everybody does to some degree.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't remember where I was going with that. But
well, you lose your train of thought sometimes. Happens to the best of us. I don't know. People being afraid of death makes sense, especially when people like haven't really died around you, and it's so novel. Like I remember the first time someone who I communicated with every day had died, and I was like, it was different, and death scared the hell out of me for a little bit after that because I realized how just conclusive it was at the end. Like that's it.
And how quick you can just take somebody you love away from you like that.
So I guess as you experience it more and more, people probably grow, I don't know, more calloused and about it, towards it. And they might fear it less. Maybe they fear it more. I don't know. That was a little tangent. I'm not even sure if that made sense.
Well, off that tangent, do you think that death has made you kind of reconsider the way you treat people? Because I think one thing I admire about you, I think you treat every single person with a lot of respect.
Well, I think I just try to treat people well in general. I don't think it has anything to do with death. It doesn't pertain to death, I don't think. Like,
what do you think it derives from?
I just wouldn't want to be treated poorly.
Just the golden rule kind of deal?
Yeah. No, I think the golden rule is definitely golden for a reason. It's a pretty good rule. Like, I've been treated poorly. I was like, man, that sucks. I've also treated people poorly, and I felt like, man, that sucks. I wouldn't want that to be me. So, and
you don't feel good after it.
No, and I do make fun of my friends, but it's in jest. Like it's a joke.
It's all based on love. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how guys are, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I tried.
You can't shoot shit with the buddies, like.
Exactly. So, but other than that, I don't really want to treat any stranger. Like, I'm not the most, like, gleeful person. Like, people have said I'm monotone, but I'm not, like, super enthusiastic or anything, but I still try to be nice. Like,
totally.
Just do whatever I feel is right at the moment.
You know what you're pretty good at is, like, kind of, like, finding a stranger and just bullshitting.
Oh, yeah. No, I used to do
really
that a lot.
good at that.
Oh, yeah, I used to do that a lot. Just feed them a line until they're completely full.
My favorite one was, hey, I'm Keegan McHugh. I play for Scott Gallagher. Yeah. I'm on the best soccer team. I'm the best soccer player in the state. Like,
I saw a Keegan McHugh tweet like a month ago. I'm like, Keegan McHugh, how do I know who that is? And I remembered that. It was Greg Winiger, and And was it Mark Bain too? No, was it Mark Bain?
I think it was. It was that day at the Highway K soccer fields.
It might have been. It was either Greg and Mark Bain or Greg and that one kid who goes to Mo State, whose name I can't remember.
Brendan Ellerbronx?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It was one of those.
Dude, that day was so funny.
That was a good time. I'm awful at soccer. There's no way I'm keeping it.
Because we were out on a soccer field, you like had to back it up with your skills.
Yeah, I'm awful at soccer. Those dudes are like, oh man, KMQ's much worse than I thought he would be. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, because whenever we used to go play soccer, summer 2014, like you didn't really like playing that much.
No,
you like watching it though.
No, I watch. It's just tiring. And
True.
It's a lot of work, and I'm not good at it. So.
Well, I think what I've picked up on it is like from playing with people that have played their entire lives versus playing with people that like have only played a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's weird. Like it's a very unusual like type of coordination with your feet. Like it's something like I don't know if I didn't repetitively like work on it so much, it would just feel very unnatural. I would assume.
Understand. I completely understand because I watch people play basketball that don't play it often. They just want to pick up a ball and dribble it, and I can dribble pretty well. I'm like, why can't this person?
You got handles. You do have handles.
Like, why can't this person just dribble like me? And then I realized, like, I mean, if they had started when they were like 6 and just dribbled with one hand, then the other hand, then back and forth, like a couple times every day, they'd be fine.
Right.
But they just picked up a basketball for the first time in 8 months right now, and it'll look unnatural. It's like you said, it's drilled into you. Like,
it's the fundamental truth with like anything. Same thing with the golf swing, a baseball swing.
Some people are just naturals at things or everything. Some people just take the things quickly.
Right.
But,
are you kind of that way? Do you pick up things pretty simply, or are you more like you work hard and then get good at them?
I think everything that I'm good at like innately. Like I was just born being good at those things, and everything I'm bad at, I'm innately bad at. Like I don't think there are things that I'll just not be good at.
Okay. That's fair.
Like I've never been bad at math, but it's much harder for me to pick up on math than any other subject. So I have like a tendency to just not even try with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't come quickly. It's like.
So you'd rather focus on your strengths, kind of.
Not even that. It's something that it's like, okay, if something's easy to me, then I'll do it. But if something's not easy to me, then I won't do it. It doesn't even have to be hard to me. Okay. It can just be not easy. So that's not the whole truth. That's just specifically with math. But yeah, so things sometimes come to me and sometimes they don't. But I don't think I'm a quick learner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just like more like an overtime learner.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
If it's a concept that's familiar, like, or I can bring it to something that's like under my umbrella of doing well. Say it's like, I don't know, like writing. If it's like, okay, you have to write like instead of a haiku, you can like write like a free-form poem. I could probably do that, pick up on that pretty quickly. But it's under the writing umbrella, and I'm a pretty decent writer. Okay. But if it's something like, okay, you know how to do algebra, here's a logarithm. Even though it's under the algebra umbrella that I'm already not good at, and I won't pick up on that quickly.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. It's kind of the idea, like, have you ever heard, like, I think there are, like, 16 different types of intelligence or something like that. Do you believe in that? Do you think that's a...
I don't think there's one form of intelligence, so 16...
Yeah, everybody likes to classify everything.
I mean, 16, 30, 100, 150. I mean, you can be smart in different ways.
Totally.
So...
That's what I think. I'm fully convinced that like every person kind of was given like a gift, and whether that's intellect or physicality or whatever. But I think everybody, especially like learning like through this podcast, I'm kind of learning like everybody's brain just works a little bit different. I think everybody can kind of find a niche, whatever it is. I think anybody could be good at something.
Exactly.
Everybody has a gift.
Absolutely, and there isn't just one rule book set in way to be smart. Like, it's not just books, it's not just math or Like you can, like you said, like kinetically, you can be smart. Like just using your body, like that's a form of intelligence. Just being fluid.
I don't think nobody's good at everything either. Like everybody,
yeah.
Like we all know the stereotype of the person who's very, very coordinated, very good athlete. It just comes easy to them, but maybe they're not necessarily good at school or something like that. Like usually there are parallels to where you're good at something and not good at the other.
Sure. I mean, there are well-rounded people who are like just probably good at most of the things, but it would be hard to be good at everything.
But are they ever an expert at anything?
Jack of all trades, master of none. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, true.
I don't know. Probably. There's 7 billion people. There's probably one who's like just good at everything. But no, I get it. Like for the most part, most people, if you are well-rounded, it'd be hard to be great at one thing because you have to stretch yourself in so many areas already. Can't really devote yourself to one thing, but
it's kind of reminds me of a quote that is actually pretty applicable to you as well. It's a Benjamin Franklin quote. It's along the lines like, know a lot about a little, know a little about a lot. And that's referring to like a good conversationalist, but it's kind of the same idea as like being an expert in anything, like mastering any craft.
Yeah. No, that is actually a pretty good quote. I can never remember quotes.
Really?
Yeah. You pulled out like 3.
Did I really?
Yeah. That's pretty sweet.
It's probably because like 2 years ago I was obsessed with quotes, and I was looking them all up, and I would go through reading like I went through like Chance the Rapper, I don't know, Steve Jobs, like across the board, just like anybody I kind of look up to in any way, shape, or form, and I like printed them all out and like put them on a piece of paper, like a big poster board. And
whatever works.
Yeah, true. I quit using that. I used to hang up in my room, and I'm like, yeah, this looks tacky.
Well, I mean, who cares? You know? But if you want to take it down, you should have taken it down. But that would probably drill some quotes in your head.
True. Absolutely, yeah. Going through and like reading them all, and then looking at them all, and then seeing them on the wall. Which I wouldn't even look at them whenever they were on the wall, so I'm just like, yeah, why do I have this even hanging up? I just kind of like took all this time and then never looked at them.
Just putting in a lot of work for nothing.
Pretty much.
I've been there.
Oh yeah.
I've absolutely been there. Oh gosh, darn it.
Well, yeah, I think I have one more question. If everyone said what they were actually thinking, what do you think would happen to society? Do you think there's any value in lying, or?
That's a good question. All right, so veracity, like being honest, is something, like being transparent, is something that everybody lacks. Truly, like no one's truly transparent.
Right.
Thing is, man, a lot of people that you just don't want them to be transparent. Like it's not for everyone's best interest if they are.
What does transparent mean?
Just completely see through. Like they're not hiding anything. Like you have nothing to hide. Like so, just being completely honest.
Okay.
Right. So, is it in the country's best interest if, say, the president, whoever he is completely transparent? Like, completely, like, we just know everything.
Ooh.
It's really not. Granted, I don't think they should be doing things where the public shouldn't, like, would be a detriment to the public. Like, so, but if they're keeping, like, secrets from us, that makes sense. I don't know. Being truthful and like is ideally a good thing, and in practice it doesn't work quite as well. But you should be honest with everyone, including yourself. But I'm just saying there are times where being completely honest probably isn't the best. Maybe I'm just saying that because I'm a shady person. Maybe I'm just not a good person. It's like man.
Well, you kind of seem that way. Like you're pretty transparent, I would say. But like you said, I don't think anybody's completely transparent.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way everybody could be like 100%.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there Nobody likes to be vulnerable.
No, that's the one thing. When you are truthful, you are vulnerable. You do open yourself up. You open yourself up to critique or to hear something that you didn't want to hear.
Totally.
So,
and I guess that's just along the lines of running towards comfort and away from discomfort. I mean, that's going to be, like, whenever you're vulnerable, it's very uncomfortable.
absolutely.
So if you can, but there are some benefits if you can open yourself up to critique or something like that.
Constructive criticism, make yourself a better person.
Try it.
Or better at whatever your craft is.
It's a G. Another quote. A lot of these are music, though.
That's fair. That's fair.
G-Eazy, yeah, criticism. What I'm about to say is obvious, but criticism worth a lot more than compliments. And I believe that. I believe
that's fair.
I would definitely believe that criticism can be
Got to
worth
break
more.
yourself down to grow.
Right?
You know? So, helps. Shout out to G-Eazy.
Shout out
to young Gerald from Oakland.
Young and Damned or something. Beautiful and the Damned, right?
Yeah. I think it's a book or something that he based it off of. I don't listen to a lot of G-Eazy, but he is a tall guy, so shout out to that.
Yeah. Was he like 6'5" or something?
I don't know. He's pretty tall. He's pretty slender.
Yeah. Maybe he's Slenderman.
Wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised.
Conspiracy, I think. You heard it here first.
Yeah, absolutely. On this podcast, and we're going to get down to the bottom of it.
Oh, yeah.
Off camera. off the record.
A lot of critical thinking, a lot of investigation that's going down. Right
Absolutely.
after this.
See, the behind the scenes, that's what the people don't see.
That's what they don't see.
We're putting in a lot of work trying to figure out who G-Eazy really is.
And they sleeping on us.
Sleep. Y'all sleep. We're about to be an alarm clock. Wake up.
Yeah. That was so cheesy.
Yeah, no, all right, yeah, we'll cut that out. That's fine. I'm just kidding. All right.
What was there? Is there anything? Any last words that he?
I don't know. Stay in school.
Stay in school.
Or don't.
Either one.
Yeah.
Sometimes that is the best option, though. I mean,
Yeah.
being like everybody else.
Or do what's best for you. No, those are my final words.
There you go.
Yeah.
Undeniably true. Well, I do want to say this. I think any send-off words I would have for you. I think you have one of the best memories of anybody I've met, and I really wish the best for you. I think you're gonna do some pretty cool things.
Thank you.
And I think you have a very unique mind. Like, it was, I'm very, I guess, grateful, I'd say. Like, you're one of those people, like, growing up, I'm extremely grateful I got to know. And, yeah, I just wish the best for you, and I think you're going to do well. And I also think you have one of the best memories I've ever met.
Thank you.
You and Michael O'Shea both. You guys have just incredible memories.
Yeah, I'd be remembering stuff. People sleep, but I'd be remembering. I definitely do remember things. It's cool. It's like a blessing and a curse. There are things I'd like to forget, but it comes in handy a lot with, like, just trivial facts that will never, ever, ever help me out in life. Like, just dumb sports facts.
That's right. Yeah, you're incredibly good at, like, the... Do you think that summer you spent, like, between 8th grade and freshman year of high school, do you think that kind of helped you, like, ingrain things into your memory a little bit more?
No, I discovered Wikipedia in, like, 2nd grade. I was just kind
That's when I discovered Pornhub.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There you go. See, we're on the same wavelength. But I'd say I started using Wikipedia. I would just look up. I was really big into WWE, so I'd look up WWE wrestlers and I would read their whole bio. So I did that for like a month, and then I ran out of WWE wrestlers. So then I moved on to other things. I started using Wikipedia for other avenues, like other things that I was interested in. I was like, oh, well, what about baseball? So I just look up baseball players' bios. Okay, there are hyperlinks on Wikipedia, so I just click on another baseball player that caught my eye. So that really just that was like just an influx of knowledge, or not knowledge, just things.
And your brain kind of adapted to that, taking in all that information.
Yeah.
To feed your curiosity.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just curious about people. Like, this was a huge thing when I was a kid. If someone was from Texas, I was born in Texas, so if someone was born in Texas, I would immediately be like, oh, that's really cool. I could probably rattle off like 10 people in different arenas from Texas, because that was something that I was so obsessed with as a kid, like fellow Texans.
Okay. Like big names around the area, or?
No, like in sports, like in soccer. Clint Dempsey is from Texas.
Right.
Okay, so I would know that because I would look up on the internet. I'd look up Lyndon Donovan. I'd look up someone else. I'd look up, click on Clint Dempsey. Where's he from? Texas. And that would just stick with me. Just because he's from Texas and I'm from Texas. And I would get like mildly excited.
Right.
I would try to go find other Texans.
Like, oh my goodness, this guy's from the same area I am.
Yeah.
But you think that kind of excited you? Because like you're like, wow, he had the same external conditions as I did, or similar. And
not really. It just excited me because I was infatuated by Texas. And I still kind of am. I just, it's like probably my first love.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's your baseball team.
Yeah, we are. Football teams, basketball team.
Wait, who's basketball? Who's there?
The Spurs and the Texas
San
Longhorns.
Antonio. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
And what was the second team?
The Longhorns, like college basketball.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
like, wait, I've never heard of that. I was thinking pro.
Yeah, but absolutely obsessed. Big Texas guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Another compliment I'll send your way. Your curiosity's taken you far, and it's almost like your memory's like adapted to feed your curiosity.
Yeah.
And I think that curiosity that you have in your open-mindedness, I think it's going to take you far.
I do like learning
way.
about things, and I'll listen to other people when they're trying to explain something. Like, I'll admit when I'm ignorant on a subject, which is like pretty often. There's just a lot of things that people don't know.
So much.
Like,
So much.
there are a lot of things that I don't know about. Like, Bryce just knows a ton of stuff. So, like, he'll educate me on, like, technological things or things going on in the political, I don't know, whatever. What's going on in politics at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it pays to be informed.
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta have good people around you, I guess.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, I'd say I'm good. I kind of want to get Bryson this at the end.
Oh no, he's pretty tired. He's not.
I just thought it'd be funny to put the camera on.
Oh yeah, you can do that. You can do that.
There we go. Without making him. All right. Well, here's Debo. There's Bryce. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Have a good day.
Another one in the books.
Another one in the books. Episode number 37, I believe.